Here's another rendition of Rod Talks. We have Cyndee via Zoom. She's going to be talking to us about colors and some feminine movement stuff. Can't wait to hear what she has to say. Here she is, Cyndee on Zoom.
Because it's more than just color, you're putting everything together. So after trying to understand it, I just put it aside and on my shelf. And a couple years or whatever it was later, I went to this panel, and it was one that Rod was in, and it's where you write the question down, but they don't know who wrote the question down. So anyways, finally it was they pulled my question. I don't even know what it was. And each panel, said what they wanted to say about, what they saw in my question. And then after Rod was done, Moselle, she's like, I gotta say something else. And she made a comment because she's what is she? Reads letters and words. What is that?
Forensic handwriting expert.
Yes. So she wanted to make a comment on one of my letters. And then she goes, oh, and you got to do color therapy. I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. So it was just like this little lightning bolt came down instantly, and had her say that. And so I went home that night and I did a little bit of research. I found this one academy that interested me. And so I called, so I looked it up and it said, well, they have this intense course in Switzerland, but it's in June. However, this was like the first couple days in April, and they just closed it in March to sign up. I'm like, oh. So the next morning I was kind of, sad about that, thinking I couldn't do it. And I just kept hearing, listen to your voice, guys. I just kept hearing, call, what is it going to hurt? So I did. Finally, I listened and I called, and they said, well, if you can have your monies in, mind you, this is now Wednesday. If you can have your monies in on Friday, then you can, go ahead and go. And lo and behold, the universe came together. I got my money, blah, blah, blah. And a couple months later in June, I was in Switzerland learning colors and color therapy, and I incorporated it with my energy work. So that is my backstory on color. And, color is just very divine anyways. We get our colors from the universe. So anyways, there you go.
So tell us a little more about what a color therapist is actually.
Well, it's using colors to, okay, so each color has its own vibration, okay? So with every color, it vibrates on a different note, if you will. And so when you use it, as I do with the energy, not only are you getting that energy, but you're also getting the, the universal energy from the Reiki, but you're also getting that extra healing from the colors, again, because they all vibrate a different way. So just like your chakras, they're all a different color and they all vibrate on a different level as well, lower to higher. And so that's how that works. So in essence, color therapy is, just working with colors and, on people and whatever else out there in the universe or on the planet here that you want to use it on.
So what would you do for a client that comes in and they have, let's say they're having some heart issues and they're not feeling very good. Their heart chakra is probably closed down, but other things that you just intuitively know there's something going on with their heart. What would this look like?
So so when I'm working with a person, I will ask them, is there anything you want me to work on? And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they don't. They haven't, they just say do it. So so
that's
if they
my favorite thing. I just say do it.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. So if they, have something, then of course I will go to that area and either pick out the specific color, like Rod says, give them the heart example. I would either pick like a pink or a green, not so much red because it's a little too intense in the heart area. And then just apply energy and let the divine, do its work. So and that's a good example because one time I was working on a person and I was very much guided to their heart area. And I typically use pink 'cause it's softer, you know. And I was just like, no, use green, use green. And I'm like, okay, I use green. And the green, because it's so rich in, you know, the emerald green is so rich in color, you know, like royalty. It gets right down in there and, you know, like digs its way through and really just wants to, you know, get in there and heal. And I got a little emotional when I was, you know, working on her heart chest area. And when we were done, I said, you know, I really was guided to use some green on your heart. You know, you really needed some deep healing. And it felt a little sad, of course. And she said, yeah, she said, I just lost my husband 2 months prior to this session. And I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder, you know, I was guided to use the richer green to just really get in there and just try to help heal her. So, and then there was another case that was really beautiful. The woman wanted me to work on her knee, and I did. And then she said, you know, will you work on my eye? I have a little bit of a droopy eye because she has an issue with it. I said, okay, sure. So, you know, I'm asking my higher self, you know, what color do I use? And I kept hearing yellow. And I'm like, yellow? Well, yellow is typically, you know, solar plex. And that's pretty much of a bold color to use on a sensitive area. And so I was fighting it. And finally, I'm just like, okay, I hear you. And I did. I took this beautiful, I had these big 6-foot scarves that are like, or silks. I mean, they're 6 foot long and like 4 feet wide. And I just folded up into this little square and just applied it over her eye, you know, gently. And within moments, it was just a beautiful thing. All of a sudden, this beautiful violet rays started coming out from underneath the silk. And it was just the most amazing thing. I wish I was able to record it. And when we were done, it was, her eye wasn't so droopy and she looked wonderful and she was happy. She could even feel the difference without even looking at herself yet in the mirror.
Right.
And it was just the most amazing thing. And she went out to the lobby where her husband, you know, sitting and waiting. And he's like, oh my gosh, look at you, look different. And I got to thinking, every color has a complementary color or an opposite color. You know, if you see a color wheel, you know, you got your cool colors, you got your warm colors. Well, this is my thinking of why I was guided to it. Not only is it a very powerful color, you know, the gold color and, you know, bringing out the rays of it, but the opposite color is violet or purple, which is the crown area, the higher, you know, the head up here, and your eyes are in the top part of your head area. So I thought, well, maybe that's why the yellow, because I told you I saw the purple rays coming out of the silk itself anyway. So that was just kind of what I came up with. But, you know, I don't question it. I just kind of come up with my own theory. And in the end, it all worked out. And she looked great.
You did. I was there, so I can
Yes.
say that I was waiting outside with her husband. And when she walked out, and I've known this woman for quite a while now, and she actually had an aneurysm and for the droopy eye and everything else. She had all these different things that had gone on in her brain and it was completely different. It changed. It was really different.
Absolutely. So, you know, we get our colors. I always like to use the example of like a prism or the front cover of The Dark Side of the Moon, the Pink Floyd, with the white color coming in, which is the universal white light or the sun. Then it creates the rainbow color, just as when it's all rainy and the sun's able to peek through. You see the rainbow color, and that's where we get our colors from. And so the universe providing that white light is very powerful. And when I do a session, I always end in white for a few reasons, because when I drape the body in white, not only do I just feel like it's kind of allowing the body to absorb what was done, but it's also a very peaceful and pure color, the white. And as I just said, the white represents all the colors anyways. So whether something was missed or something suddenly popped up that needed to be healed, or it doesn't matter, that white just encompassing the whole body just allows it to, really heal in all the multiple colors.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions so far?
Raise your
So I'd like
hand if
yeah.
you have. I got you guys muted, so just raise your hand and all right, Kelly, I'll unmute Kelly. Hang on. Hang on, Kelly. There, Kelly's getting, oh, no, it didn't unmute. There you go.
I did. So is everything just visual with you that you're working along with the energy, or are you using any kind of lights, or is it literally just the color in the silks?
So yes, yes, I just use the color itself as I'm guided. Again, sometimes, I go by the chakra color, and sometimes I go by the opposite color, depending if the area is hot or cool and you need to work with it. I do have a color light that I use. A lot of times my intuition will come through and help with the healing. So it's really not anything specific. It's just what the moment is and how the energy is flowing and, what is guided. Again, like if someone's solar plex is, just all over the place, and instead of using the yellow and enhancing that, I would use the complementary color, which is what? Purple, right? And just kind of tone it down and bring balance to it. So it's just it's a good question, but there's a lot of answers to it.
Okay.
That help, Kelly?
Yeah, no, I just was curious if it was something that was just visual inside of her that she was pulling, or if there was tools she used, which if it's all of it, that makes sense too.
Yes, so yeah, I use my silks, or I have a light wand with different colors on it. Depends on, and that's very pinpointed. So if there's something that's like a small area that really needs extra lighting on it, penetrating, then I will use that too. So it's just whatever, the moment is for that person.
Thank you.
I have a question along with that. You said the complementary colors. What is a complementary color and what does that mean?
So it is the color wheel. So you have your warm colors and your cool colors. It's the opposites, the opposite color. They complement each other. So again, red would be green, yellow and purple, or blue and orange. And even though you're talking, your purple's up here, you can also use, again, the yellow up here, because it's going to be the opposite. Because then when you get down to the yellow down here, it's going to be the purple. Or when you get down to the orange, the sacral, it's going to be the blue. And that matches your throat chakra, which is really cool if you look at it. Because when you're working on the second chakra, which is for women, life force, it's the energy of everything. It's, to me, besides the heart chakra, it's one of the main chakra areas. And without your joy, because it represents the color orange, which means joy and happiness, without that happiness, how are you going to speak anything ever, right? That's your blue color. Or if you're speaking too much, maybe your orange is on fire too much, maybe you need to tone it down, put a little blue on, around it to calm it down. So it's interesting how your second chakra goes with your throat chakra to either allow you to really speak up, or if someone who's really closed in on that area maybe doesn't speak as much. So, and I'd like to also say the color, if you've all noticed over the last couple years, there's been a couple of colors that's been really prominent, and that's lavender and blush or the rose color, not necessarily red, but more the pink, on the pink side. And if you notice that it was quite the trend for a bit there, you'd see fabrics with roses on it, bathroom stuff, your sheets and all this kind of stuff with roses on it. Well, a part of that is because if you're familiar with anybody ever talking about lately, the feminine energies coming through, that is, I believe in my heart, that's why those colors are coming through. Lavender represents the moon, which is what? Feminine. It's also the grown-up version of the pink. It's very feminine. So I can totally see why lavender was a very hot color, and still really is, but it had its fame there for a little bit. And then you have the rose, the pinks that were, because why? Pink represents unconditional love. And I told you I use pink on the heart area a lot because 99.9 of us need a little help in our heart area. So using the pink with the energy, or even just laying the silk on the chest and just letting her do her job, you know, she's doing immense healing. So pink being unconditional love, although what's the feminine represent is lots of love. Not that the men don't, you know, they're working on it, most of them, but women just naturally have that loving instinct, you know. And so it just made complete sense to me why those colors, you know, and the rose gold and the jewelry rose gold and everything went rose gold and clothes and shoes. And it was beautiful. And I loved it. And the lavender, you know, one of my two favorite colors are purple and white. Well, you put those two together and what do you get? Oh, lavender.
Yeah. So Cyndee, before we go any further, because I do want to get into the feminine part of this and everything else, but before we go any further, you want to go through the chakras and the colors of the chakras? What, your earrings?
Sure.
Huh?
Yeah, they're lavender. I don't know if you can see them, but they're lavender.
Yeah.
Okay, so your question was to go through the chakras? The colors?
Yeah, because does everybody know what the chakra colors, what colors go with each chakra? And that, no, some of us don't, some of us do that. And so let's just kind of go through, starting with the base, please, and work your way up.
Yeah, that sounds great. Mom, can we turn that light on, please? So I'm going to also, when I go through the colors, I'll give you some words that kind of represent that color. And so it's fun. Like I told you, lavender. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
The
hey,
lavender.
See you.
Yeah, here I am. The lavender is, I thought I saw a star, but it's our wind chime right here.
Oh, I was wondering what it was because it was moving. I was like, is that an orb or
oh no, here
something?
it's her new wind chime I got her for Easter.
Oh, sweet.
Hummingbirds. Anyways,
nice.
Back to what we were.
Yeah.
So like lavender, you know, represents the moon and the feminine. So if you want to, you know, write a couple notes down, especially if there's a color that you're really interested in or a color that's coming to you, you know, maybe you might want to write down, you know, kind of the meaning behind it. And also, I just want to say another thing too, is that a lot of times I'll give myself a great example. So a lot of times there are colors that, and it works both ways. I'll share both. Sometimes there's colors we're not like real fans of. Like for me, it's blue. I mean, it's not that I don't like the color blue. It's not one of my, you know, top, you know, 5 or whatever. And so it's not that I fight it, but I don't really incorporate it in much of anything that I wear or buy or whatever, what have you. Yes.
All right. So I know you always tell me that blue's not your favorite color, but you also say you see blue around me a lot, which is Archangel Michael color. But also along with the blue thing is you're a Gemini. Geminis are blue because they're on Mercury communication, and that's blue, all blue colors in that. So it's really interesting that you're not a fan of blue. I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing so. And honestly, over the last few years, I've been trying to incorporate some blue, like blue tops or what have you. But a lot of times, maybe the reason why we're not a fan of that color, let's just say, is because maybe it's because we're fighting something inside, just what he was saying, you know, maybe I wasn't speaking my truth very much for a long time, or maybe I didn't know how to, you know. And plus blue represents calming, you know, and I'm not that calm a person. I'm always go, 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 you know. And so maybe it could have been just all those reasons why blue just wasn't in my repertoire, you know, just like you may not like a food, like a mushroom, you know, and all of a sudden one day you try it and you're like, oh, I like it. Because there's going to be a transition within your lifetime, I'm sure, that suddenly you are going to like that color or like that food for whatever reason, because then that's the divine timing for you to accept it. And just the opposite, you know, you could love a color so much, you know, like one day you're just like I love orange. And you go out and buy all this orange stuff and you just live it and eat it and breathe it. And all of a sudden one day you go, yeah, I'm done with that color. You know, because it was serving its purpose for you at that time. It was bringing the elements of joy and probably bringing out your second chakra, and, you know, and it's happy. And maybe you needed that happy. Maybe you were going through something in your life that, you know, you needed that pep. And then, so once you know, go through it, it could be a day, it could be a week, a year, whatever. There's no time on it. But one day you may just wake up and go, you know, I'm done with that color. I'm going to put it aside. I'll still wear it once in a while. But it's because your body and your mind, heart and soul and body have now accepted that color for its healing that it needs to be done. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we're going to start at the bottom. Oh, first I got to introduce you my little friend. He's my little, what do you call that? Your partner in crime? Yes. Mascot. He's my little mascot. Isn't he the cutest thing?
Yes.
So he's a chameleon. Of course, chameleons are all about what? Color and change, right?
Right.
And you see his name? His name is Hue. Because that word hue means like say the color purple. You have all the different colors or rays of the purple, from the deepest, richest, you know, royalty color purple all the way down to the pale, you know, lavender, if you will. So anyways, his name is Hue. All right, so the first chakra, starting at the bottom, working our way up, is the root chakra, and it's red. And the complementary color to that would be green. And how interesting is that, right? Because the red chakra, or the root, same, is all about grounding, right? Grounding yourself to Mother Earth. And, you know, what's interesting is the complementary color is the heart. Well, the heart is all about love and grounding and the feminine and the love and all that too. I don't mean to ever leave the masculine out, because they have that as well. But I'm just saying there is a great, beautiful connection there.
You don't like men, just admit it.
You love men. I'm just saying, women have, more often than not, women have more of a softer heart, that they open up to it and they share it more. How's that? Look at, here's a heart-shaped rock that I found on North Mountain, by the way.
Kelly.
And I don't know if you can see, it's not very good, but it's an orangey color. Isn't that funny? We're talking about orange too. All right, so red. Red is the fire of life, okay? Passion, courage, and grounding to Mother Earth, as I just said. And so the next, I'm sorry, if you need me to wait, just put your hand up, and then I'll know you need, okay, we're good? All right. So moving up to your second, your Tantian, your sacral, is the orange.
Tantian.
Is the orange, and it's the joy of life. Life comes from there. Vitality and grounding in your body.
Now, orange is pretty powerful, right? I mean, in a lot of different ways too. That so orange being that powerful on the sacral area, and it's about your creativity also, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of ways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so if you wanted to be more creative, would you wear an orange then?
Yeah, I would definitely bring some orange in your life. You know, you can eat it, you can wear it, you can sleep in it. And if it's not really one of your colors, you can always, you know, wear underwear or something that's orange, or, you know, just something underneath your clothing, you know, because I get it. Some people don't want to expose themselves to, you know, colors, you know, and that's quite all right. Or even at night, if you have a pair of pajamas or something like that, or sheets or a towel that you can wrap around, just something to bring the orange within and around you, and to, you know, bring up that vibration of that color, like you said, for your creativity and your joy. And right now, everybody needs to have orange. What's going on out there? Everybody needs to bring their orange on. Good job, Rod. He's got his orange on. And I think, if I remember right, it has blue on there. So your shirt has the complementary color. It's perfect. Whoever designed it.
Oh, who picked it
All
out
right.
for me?
What?
You picked it out for me, so.
Oh, no, I did not.
Yes, you did. Weirdo.
You're right, I did.
Yeah.
So element-wise, the red is earth, right? And then water is the second one, right? The sacral, the orange is the element is water. And of course, once again, that's the moon, that's the feminine, very feminine. It's a very feminine area. All right, so moving up to the yellow, which is your solar plex, which is in between the chest and the belly button area. That's your power zone, your courage, your strength. And my gosh, we need some yellow going on right now too. A lot of people need to bring their courage and strength into alignment right now, you know, for what we're going through, especially, but always for that matter. All right, so wait, one more second. I want to go back to the orange for just a second. I wanted to share this. More often than not, when I'm working on ladies and I need to work on the second chakra area, more often than not, I always use salmon color. Again, remember hue? So salmon is the pastel version of orange. So it's not as intense because I don't want to bring too much vibration to that area. Just want enough to, like same with the heart, I use a pink and not red. You don't want too much, but you want enough to, you know, where the color will still get the job done without too much of that vibration. So anyways, you're familiar with the color salmon, right? Everybody knows like a color salmon? Okay, good. So I just want to share that with you that I use. So if you don't have orange, any hue of the orange color is quite all right to, you know, bring that vibration up. All right, back to yellow. Yellow is inner child and creativity and mental stimulation.
You think that's because it's connected to the vagus nerve? That the power center in the vagus nerve is connected, and it's this mental stimulation the vagus nerve is?
Well, that's a very good observation. Because it sounds, you know, common sense to me, like it sounds right, you know, your intelligence, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'll roll with it. So there you go. Now you can add that to your Vegas repertoire, Virginia, wherever you are.
She's down here.
I saw her name on here.
Did you hear her, Virginia?
Yes, I heard her. Sorry. I heard her. Thank you, Cyndee.
You're welcome.
Were you in the bathroom?
No. No, I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
All right. So we're going to move up to the next one. Sorry, I was thinking.
What element is the power center?
Huh? That's what I was just thinking.
I know that's.
I know it's wood.
Okay.
It's wood, but my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's not fire. Heart is fire. What are we missing? We have earth, water, wind.
As the wind blows and knocks your paperwork out.
I know.
I think the universe was telling you something, woman.
I guess so, but I don't know why it doesn't feel right, but maybe it is. Wind is up here, I thought. Okay,
well, it's metal, isn't it?
Metal,
yeah.
Metal, yeah.
Air.
What was
is
that?
it?
Air?
It's air. Yeah, it's wind, air. Yeah, it would. I would have to say that.
All right.
Especially with the wind blew.
Confirmation.
Confirmation, yes. It's been a while, so yeah.
Right. Well, we'll roll with it.
Yes.
All right. So moving up to the fire, because I know the heart area is fire for sure, and that will be green in this instance, right? Because we're using chakra colors, and which are the rainbow colors. And green is space, hope, and opening. So you're opening up your heart, right? That's what the opening up is. And of course, hope, you're opening up your Pandora's box. Mm-hmm. So green, you know, to me, it also represents, you know, nature and healing as well. So as we move upward, we're going to move to blue. And the blue is truth, speaking your truth, right? The central axis, AXIS, and the divine masculine, the heavens and the skies, the divine masculine.
I figured out what the third chakra is.
Yeah, what is it? Why am I drawing a blank?
Fire. It's fire. The burning of the third chakra, the burning desire, the knowing, it's fire. I know it doesn't feel right, but I looked it up too just to make sure.
Okay. All right. So moving up to
It's
indigo.
power, so fire is power. So.
Well, that's true. So then we're missing one. I don't know why I draw a blank on that. I apologize to you guys, but thank you for looking it up, Rod.
You're welcome.
So moving up to indigo. Indigo is kind of the colors of purple and blue. Purple's up here, remember, right? And your blue is here, and indigo is the like that kind of color in between those. You know, putting those two colors together, or the Atlantic Ocean, that beautiful, rich navy blue. Now that's the kind of blue that I like. Indigo is. I just want to share with you. Indigo is a great. What, you have something you want, Rod?
No, Virginia and I were talking about sharing this, and we can't share it. So for some reason.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
Indigo is a great color for like the white, for an overall healing. So just like a navy blue, if you need some deep healing or protection, blue is also good for that too. Like for aches and pains and whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual, indigo is your power color. Okay. And so indigo, what it says in here is deep peace, karma, and the spiritual force. We're good? All right, so now moving up to the crown. Some people say it's white. Okay, but if we're sticking with the chakra colors, it's going to be your purple or your violet. And spiritual balance. Your violet is your spiritual balance. It's your connection to the all. Okay, so here's the thing. I did mention, do you remember the masculine, the color for the masculine? Do you guys remember? Use your lips. Good job, everyone. Blue. Okay, well, how do you have balance if you only have one of that type or that color for energy or energy for the color? You've got to have the feminine, right? You can't have balance if you just have masculine. It'd be like walking like this. You need, the balance. So the feminine color, I should pull it out. It's a beautiful color. It's another reason why I had my mom turn the light on. Anyways, thank you, Cookie. Oh. So I don't know. The lighting is really bad. Let me turn my phone on. And what color do you think the feminine would be if the masculine is blue?
Black.
Pink.
Yes, it's in the pink family. And here she is. Can you see her?
Now, this is one of your silks, right? One of your big silks?
Yeah. Do you see that? Isn't that beautiful? It's like a fuchsia or color.
Right.
So she resides in the back of your neck, the bottom of the base of your head. So, which is cool, because if she's right here receiving the divine universal energy, and the masculine color is here, well, you're balanced right here, right? So you're receiving all your information, and then now you get to share the information out here. Isn't that a beautiful balance?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know if you can see this, the pink on here. That's her right there, our feminine. So she is divine mother, divine feminine. And there's our balance. I love it. Love it.
So I think that's going to lead us right into femininity. And before we get into that, is there any questions about colors, chakras, and everything else and that you guys would like to ask Cyndee?
No.
We're good?
Okay, because I think later after we talk about the feminine and that, I think, Cyndee, we're going to talk about maybe what color is going to fit you guys, and if you have questions about what colors you guys should be wearing for the things that you're working on or whatever else, then I think, having Cyndee here right now would be a really good time to ask those questions and that, and so be thinking about it. Sherry, you got a question? Hang on, let me unmute you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sherry?
Yeah, I'd like to know, help me to try to relax and focus and just calm down and
you keep breaking up, but I think I got a couple of words. I'm thinking that, or feeling that you're saying that you need something, colors that will be calming for you. Yes. So definitely two choices: lavender and a light lavender. Not lavender, it too has its own hues just in itself. Okay, get a lighter version of lavender, kind of like on the closer to the pink or light, and then a baby blue. Baby blue is good. Also, white is it can be very healing and calming as well.
Okay.
And my suggestion with white, everyone, if you do have any kind of healing, or you just want to lift your spirits up and you just want to be connected and you just want to feel this loving, pure, divine joy, wear white, like especially when you're in bed. When you're sleeping, that's your best time to heal. Rest is best. You get to heal, you get to receive and everything. Or if you don't have anything white, pajamas or whatever, or t-shirt, white sheets are awesome. Awesome. Okay, so that way you're just totally immersed in the white.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but you're welcome. Lavender and baby blue.
Lavender and baby blue. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get more into that after we get done talking about the femininity, and we're going to go and we're going to talk more about what colors and kind of pick what it is, okay? Because I got a few questions too about that, but I really want to get into the femininity part of this because I really believe that this is some important stuff and the reason that I asked Cyndee to be on tonight was, of course, the color stuff, because we really need the colors that. But Cyndee has channeled things not so long ago that has really came to fuchsia what we're going through right now. And there's a femininity that goes along with this, and that about, the idea that there's a possibility that the second coming is female. There's also this talk about the Fifth Horseman. Now, if anybody ever follows or knows about the Bible and that, there's supposed to be 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, all right? And so there's been stuff going on in that, and nobody ever talked about the Fifth Horseman. But there has been now stuff that's been coming out about writings about the Fifth Horseman. Anybody here heard of the Fifth Horseman?
Mm-mm.
But you guys understand, you understand the concept of the four horsemen, right?
Yeah.
You know, the seven seals being broken and the apocalypse and everything else. Then the fourth horseman is about plague, you know, about viruses, sicknesses, and everything else upon this earth and that. And Cyndee, she didn't understand the Revelations things, and of course, you guys, everybody that knows me, and that I wanted to be a minister, so I know I read the Bible, I know theology, and I got my doctorate in theology and everything else in that. But this is different. I never heard of this, and this is stuff Cyndee has been channeling in that. So I want to kind of talk about it because I really believe that the second coming is femininity, which is about compassion and love and everything else that's coming in. We also, if you guys start looking at spirituality in a deeper aspect and start looking at things even deeper, and I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow, but you know, they're the 7 rays of light. The 7 rays talk about this. The last ray is the orange ray, and it talks about chaos, from harmony to chaos, or chaos to harmony. And that's what we're in right now. And we're in that orange that Cyndee's talking about. And we'll talk more about the 7 rays tomorrow and everything else too in class. But it's kind of interesting if you guys look really into this, that this has already been played out. Everything, what we're going through is what we've been talking about in that. But Cyndee brought it up, what, almost 2 years ago?
I believe it was December 2016 is when I got that. Did you hear me? That's okay. I believe it was December 2016 when I got that download, that the channeling of. So a lot of times, or more often than not, my channeling isn't like I just say a lot of words and sentences, you know, and phrases and things like that. It's usually just a word or a few words. But that one word or those few words mean, like, you know, a lot of something. And so anyways, on that particular day, I just was minding my own business, and this huge energy came through. And these are the words that came through. And the word was labyrinth. We're all familiar with that, right? Very feminine, very spiritual, very healing, everything beautiful about it. Okay, so labyrinth, seals. And when I heard the word seals, I'm like, what is that? Is that like the Navy SEALs? You know, I'm like having this conversation while I'm getting this download, or, you know, is it the like the animal of the seal? Anyways, I'm like, okay. And then I heard the word like the moon, or no, the sun was going to go black. And the next thing was the skies were going to open and sparkles, like stars were going to come down. And I think that was it, right?
Well, yeah, it was the seals, yeah, the sparkles, yeah. Labyrinth, moon, something about moon too, the dark moon.
Yeah, the black moon. And I had no idea what all that was. I really did not. And then when I read the seals, well, the 6th seal is just that. It's the sun, goes black, the moon goes red. There's sparkles there's stars that fall from the sky. I mean, it's written. I'm like, holy cows, you know, I didn't know that, you know? And so it was amazing to me.
Right. And sorry, I'm going to butt in here, but if you guys know right now, so we went through the pink moon. Now we're going to go into a dark moon, which we're going to have a meteor shower with. So this is all stuff that Cyndee had talked about, but it's all written in the Bible, in Revelations, and everybody talked about the apocalypse, that this is going to happen. And we're watching it right now happen. But no fear, because we're okay. That's the whole thing. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So I didn't think much of it, you know, I learned it and I found it fascinating. It was like, okay, you know, well, whoever knew that, you know, maybe possibly something like that could happen in our lifetime, something close to it, let's just say. Well, anyways, jumping forward, you know, I got that download again another day, you know, real strong energy. And I got the word scrolls too. I just remembered. Anyways, but then recently I was feeling that. I was like, with all this virus thing going on, it was like really coming back to me, like, wrote very strongly about that download that I got. And I even did a video two Sundays before Easter, and I couldn't post it. I don't know why. I just could not do it. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this whole feminine energy, this whole feminine craze has been getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I'm like, well, she's the resurrection. She's coming in. It's the feminine. Now, mind you, this is my belief. And I believe that she is the resurrection. She's the second coming that's coming, because why? We have been so unbalanced for eons, for so long, that she's coming through with a vengeance. She's like, I'm going to show you, look, I'm going to do this, this, and this to get your attention, because apparently this little bit of stuff that I have been doing isn't quite enough. Yes, there are people out there that are receiving my information and energies, and starting to, share it. I mean, Mary Magdalene, there's books people have written, back in the 80s and 90s and things like that. But she is coming through right now. And it just made sense to me. I was like, wow. And my mother and I, the Saturday before Easter, we went to the bike store to pick up her bike. And the owner, he was just, everybody, the whole talk everybody talks about is, the virus thing. And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, he said, I have this customer friend. He's an Asian man. And he said he studies and believes in Taoism. And he's telling, this Asian gentleman's telling, the owner, we are in the, the four horses or seals or the revelations right now. And when he shared that with me, and I'm pretty sure this bicycle man isn't sharing this information with everyone, but if you're awakened or have been awoken, you notice things, you start seeing signs all over the place, or you could be walking down the aisle of a grocery store just at the precise moment when someone's, maybe talking to somebody else, and you hear that word or that phrase or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I get it. This is my confirmation, right? I truly believe that was him sharing that information with me. And so we get in the van, we start driving, and I'm crying behind my foster grants. Literally, they're foster grants. And my mom's trying to talk to me, and I'm just like, yeah. And I'm crying because I felt in my heart the truth in this. The truth in this, that I feel the second coming is this feminine. We need her here. She's about justice. She's about balance. And we've been on the masculine roller coaster for way too long. And so I felt that in my heart, and I'm just like tears, or, I'm trying to drive. My mom's trying to talk to me. It's like, And so then Rod, a lot of times he's like my mediator, or like my medium man or middleman or something, because sometimes I get information on my phone, and sometimes he does, and he shares with me. And that day, that night, that evening, I was sharing with him my day, that what I just shared with you. And he goes, well, Cyndee, this makes sense to me. He said, I got this information that's sitting in your profile to be sent to you about the Fifth Horseman. And the Fifth Horseman is the feminine. She is in red, riding a green horse. Green because she's all about nature. She's Mother Earth. She's all about nature. And what are we doing to our earth? We're destroying her in every aspect possible, along with ourselves. And she's here to help bring healing to us, and justice and balance. And sorry, I really get passionate about it. That's the red coming out that she wears. Because I honestly believe that, several years ago when I got that, just that one piece of information, I've been getting things all along. It has really made me believe that this is why I was receiving it, because this is where we're at. And, I just say, embrace her and embrace you. And men, they need to bring their feminine out too. And women too. Some women don't bring their feminine out. And it's not that you have to wear a dress and high heels and all that. That is not it at all. It's bringing your softer side of your insides out, and expressing that. Men, unfortunately, a lot of men had to be suppressed in that, you have to be strong, you can't cry, blah, blah, blah. Really? Okay, now she's going to help bring that out. And now you've probably even noticed men around you, whether it's a relative or a friend or what have you, that they are becoming a little bit more softer and a little bit more emotional and more friendlier and more caring and more loving. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And that's what she's here to help do. Amen.
So what's the name of the Fifth Horseman? What's her name?
Her name is Providence.
Is that cool?
Providence.
Yep. This is actually, because it's interesting because...
What a great story. Everything's true. Sorry.
Oh,
My mom's sitting here. She's
hasn't
sitting
heard
here
the story?
smiling, going, she didn't know most of it.
Oh, she did. Oh, wow.
Anyways,
Some crazy stuff. Yes. But the thing is that all this stuff being true and everything else that was there, it's been written in Taoism, which is interesting that guy at the bike and that, but Taoism and Buddhism and Buddhists and everything else, and even Greek mythology and that. And I've had a lot of conversations with people about Greek mythology lately, but all this has been written already, is that the words that have not even been written are going to come out. And this is what it is these, remember, the Sanskrits are coming out. They're finding out that Mary Magdalene actually had her own part in the Bible that was taken out, and there's actually scripts online that you can read that Mary Magdalene has written, and there's other that has been taken out of the Bible. But the interesting thing is that Greek mythology was around before the Bible was written. And there's all these stories that leads into it, that about Zeus putting more females in charge. And that's what Zeus did, is he put these females in charge to create a better life and a more compassionate life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe personally that as long as I've ever known, in that I believe that the female is the second coming. I believe the whole idea of having Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, and everything else, that being such presence in this world is important. And the chalice, what is the chalice? I think it's the femininity in that. It's the way of life and everything else. That open to discussion. Anybody else want to share or talk or not? Raise your hand. Anybody else want to bring something in with that?
Well, she's the rose.
Well,
She's the rose. That's why the patterns, as I shared with you earlier, that's why the patterns and everything went to the rose. She's
Right.
here.
Yeah, she's the rose. Virginia, you had something to add?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you, Cyndee, because, as you were talking about bringing the feminine in and Mary Magdalene, and it reminded me of Sophia, because I started to read Sophia several weeks ago and put it down and got involved with something else. But I picked it back up today. And Isis, if you've read Sophia, you know that Isis is part of that feminine group. And I connected with Isis, over a year ago through a meditation. So I just realized, as you were saying that, oh my God, Isis is my connection to that femininity that you're talking about. And I actually kind of went through a meditation today and kind of had that exercise, because I was connecting to her power really more than the feminine. And I've had this thing recently, this phrase that I've been using, which is fierce love. And so all of those pieces of that puzzle are kind of starting to come together, right now, talking about all this, stuff. Oh, yeah, pretty amazing. Thank you.
Good
You
job.
are,
Thank you,
you're
Virginia.
very welcome, and that's the thing. We have all these deities that are out there. You have, like Rod said, Mother Mary, you have Mary Magdalene, you have Isis, you have Lakshmi, you have, all these different beautiful, wonderful feminine deities, but you don't hear much about them, unfortunately. In the Hindu culture, you do hear a lot of the feminine deities, and what they represent. But sometimes theirs are like, they're both. And so it can be a little confusing. But I also wanted to add to all that, with Easter or the resurrection, the day of that we celebrate, I believe that Jesus was, as a male, the epitome of the feminine energy. And when he died on that cross, so did the feminine energy. Because he was able to, that was his message, is all about love. I mean, what do you think this is all about? The feminine, the connecting yourself to Mother Earth, the red, which is the green, the complementary color, it's all earth and it's love. And unfortunately, I feel that, when he died on the cross, a lot of that was taken away, because he was able to speak the words for Mary Magdalene, or even his mother Mary, and other feminine deity, or not deities, but figures out there. And unfortunately, I think that was, I'm sure it was before that, but this is my feelings, is that because he exuded in that, in the love. And that's what we're bringing back right now. That's why she wears red. The passion and the love.
Anybody else want to share? All right, Becca. Hey, hon.
So this is really interesting because I feel like I've been struggling to balance the masculine and feminine right now. And I feel like I've been kind of like flip-flopping back and forth.
Wow. Okay. So is your question, how do you bring that balance in?
Yeah, so like, yeah, this maybe have something to do with why I'm feeling so unbalanced and so forth. And
well, probably because you're feeling that energy coming in right now. I mean, it's full force, and the signs are all there. And so maybe that is why you're feeling unbalanced. I think a lot of us, if not almost all of us, are feeling unbalanced. We're not sure what's going on because it's a very strong energy. And I think for you, if you want, bring some blue and pink, the feminine and the masculine colors together, and just have them sit together, so they can start working with each other and balance each other out. Or wear blue and pink together if you can.
What are you wearing right now, Beck? Is that blue and pink?
I have pink. Actually, I have pink and blue pants.
Good. Perfect.
So you already know, Beck. You already know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just want to add a little bit to that also, Beck, is that there's so much unknown yet. You still have young kids and everything else, and that there's so much unknown what will actually create such an unbalance in there. And you have things being pulled from one side to the other side of things that are being told to many people, and you don't believe it. And you want to share, and there's things you have to be careful what you say, and you got to walk on eggshells right now, and that's not who you are, Becky. You usually say what you feel.
Right.
So
I feel too that I don't want to hurt people with my words, so just trying to come from that place of love and like speak my truth in love, so that it's heard and not hurting people.
Absolutely. And see, that's the epitome of femininity that I believe is not hurting anybody. Nobody here wants to hurt anybody. And they will keep it inside them before they will share that may hurt somebody. And you have to remember, though, us living in the society of empaths and intuitives and psychics and that, we feel there's something going on. I would rather be told the truth than try to save me from heartache or whatever else that, because I feel there's something going on. And when I feel that, I want to know. And that's you going on with you, honey, is that you feel imbalanced about that. Yeah, but this all will end soon. Trust me, it's going to be okay. And I don't know time and or anything else but I just have a feeling that it's going to come to an end, and everything's going to be the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I felt a shift the last few days. So
Shift has been big the last couple of days, hasn't it? That's why I posted on Facebook is like of Michael Jackson eating popcorn. Just wait. Just watch. It's just going to get more interesting. And that's what we have to do. We have to stand back, observe, and some love. That we can't jump in and fight everybody, so we just stand back, send love to everybody, and let them be who they are.
right.
Yep. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Okay. Over here first, the little one over here asked first, honey, and then I'll get to you, Linda. Okay. Go ahead. Yes, you.
Me?
Yeah, the little one, yes.
Okay, well, I didn't. So, is there like an excessive, like even if it's balanced, like I feel like my masculine and feminine energies are super balanced, but I feel like they're both like blown out of proportion. Like I feel like they're both so like up here. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's really excessive in both aspects. Like I don't think it's unbalanced, but should I like try to tone it down or something like that? Because it goes really high up in both. And I don't know if that, like, it's balanced, so I think that's good. But, like, I don't know if I should, like, if there's any way you can, like, tone that down or, like, I should try. You know what I mean? You're laughing at me. Why?
Because your energy, honey, is so high. But, I mean, this is a question for Cyndee. I know that. But I'm going to say something first, okay? Sorry, Cyndee. But your energy is so high. You turn 18 years old, okay? You're this beautiful soul that fills everything, okay? You emote energy and you take energy in. So you're this dual aspect of empathic. And that's a stereo form that you're going through, is because you're taking it in and releasing it. And that's what that thing is that the swinging of the pendulum. As far over as masculine as you can go, you're going to go over as feminine. You have to find that balance in that. And I want to and try to keep it on the feminine side in that, but yet you have to have a little bit of that masculine for the drive and that.
Okay.
And you're not totally unbalanced, but this is that whole story that everybody talks about. I feel unbalanced. This is your unbalanced, you know? Everybody has a story of unbalanced. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Cyndee, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you.
No, Cindy's got to answer the question.
I know. I'm waiting. I said.
I'm waiting too for Cyndee.
Am I on?
You're on.
Oh, okay. There we go. I see myself lit up now.
Yes.
I honestly, sweetie, if you feel that you are balanced with both, let it ride. Because all you're doing is sending that perfect balance out there, that energy, that vibration, and that's exactly what this is all about. So just let it ride. Let it sparkle.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good job, sweetie.
You too.
Let it sparkle. I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm sparkle.
Yeah, you can sparkle, honey. Linda, you had a question now?
I do.
Yes.
I have a struggle with both resistance and communication. I am to continue to take a medication that I have resistance to. And I don't want to take this medication any longer. My doctor wants me to take this medication. So I need to know how to communicate to be able to tell this doctor, you need to find something else for me. I know it's a serious medication, and I know it just can't be left alone. So it's the communication part and the resistance part that I'm concerned with.
Did we lose Cyndee? Oh, there she is.
I have a low battery.
Oh, no. So did you hear the question, though, Cyndee?
The resistance to the medication that she needs to be taken, but she doesn't want to take it.
Right,
Is that
yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
So I guess, what is the question then? I mean, what are you looking for? What are you searching for right now?
She wants to know how to be able to tell her doctor to find an alternative.
There's going to be a meeting in a couple of months
Okay.
Because of all the coronavirus problems, I have to wait 2 months for this. So I have this anxiety. I know I need to communicate about this, and I'm resisting this. I don't want to take it, and I'm probably not going to. I want to communicate that you need to find some other alternative route for me.
Okay.
But I don't know what can happen. So colors or anything you have.
What
Yeah.
kind of vibration, what kind of colors? What she's asking, is there something that she can use in place of this medication in an alter, like a color or a frequency or something like that for it?
Wow. Right. Okay. So the color that came to me is turquoise.
Okay.
That's where I was going to go with it too.
Really? Yes. So
Now explain mine. Go ahead.
Turquoise is about, it's in the blue family. It's about calming, but it's also about transformation and tranquility. So with maybe what your question that you're asking, in a sense, is about transformation, right? I mean, because you don't want to take the one or take it, but you're searching for something else in lieu of it, right? Or not even at all, correct?
Yes, kind of both, because I'm not sure what I should do. I need to have that communication.
Yes.
I need to be strong somehow.
Well, and
because
that
I'm not good at
help
communication.
You.
Okay,
well, good. And that turquoise is going to help you, because that is in your communication. The blue tones are your communication color. Okay. And so turquoise is going to allow you to gently get your point across. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds
and I'll
good.
even read you. So in my notes here, which is beautiful. So turquoise is spirit of transformation, as I told you, spirit of transformation and fresh start. So they kind of go hand in hand. You want a fresh start on what you're looking for, or trying to not have to do or take, excuse me. So I would go with that for sure. That's the color that came to me. And then, what is another beautiful color is peacock. Do you know what peacock is? Peacock is like turquoise, but it's a little bit deeper of that color. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And what she represents, is freedom. So there you go. So you're still talking the same, colors, just a different hue, and that's your communication colors as well. Yeah, okay. And the peacock's going to be rich. Like, remember I shared that story with the green instead of the pink and the heart? I shared, the green. Well, your peacock's going to be a richer, deeper color, a little bit darker than I said than the turquoise. So you'll be able to really grasp what you want to say and share with that color for sure.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
And so the reason I wanted to pick a turquoise color, and that is, is this medication for something in the endocrine system? We don't have to get into it, but
I don't know what that is.
The endocrine system starts with the pituitary, goes through the thyroid, into the thymus, into the kidneys, and everything else. But it runs through your body in the system that way.
I'll tell you what it is. It's an estrogen blocker because I had chemotherapy and cancer.
That's part of the endocrine system and everything else. So that's what I had a feeling that it was about, and this is about femininity and everything else also on top of that. Jeez, what's going on?
Sorry, trying to plug it in so I don't lose you guys. Okay,
so, sorry, we'll let Cyndee settle down here. But I was picking turquoise because of the frequency of turquoise and everything. I knew it had to do with the endocrine system. The endocrine system is, it has estrogen, testosterone, pituitary. It's got the thyroid. It's got all this system that even your adrenals and everything else, because that's what I see as the endocrine system of you needs to be raised up. So 528 hertz is also in the blue colors. And if you start listening to 528, that's a healing that heals in the internal of the endocrine system, but it's also blue colors. And it's interesting about the 528 because 528 also restores your DNA. So this is that part of that of bringing your estrogen back and bringing it, and clearing out the how do you say it, the all the stuff that from chemo and everything else. So I think it's a huge thing that you listen to, like Cyndee said, and that's really awesome that Cyndee said to take start wearing turquoise and that turquoise around the neck and everything else and that, and then listening to 528.
Okay, fabulous.
Cyndee, are you there, or did I lose you? Silly woman. Let's make fun of her while she's gone, okay? See that goofy outfit she's wearing? Oh, she completely is gone. Oh, she probably heard me with that. So, yeah, I'm sure she did. So let's kind of, we're waiting for her to log back on and everything else. But is there any other thing that I can help with? And why, yeah. Because we only have a couple more minutes anyway before we have to get off of here. So yeah, Cyndee, the other Cyndee.
So I was just wondering, like, how to stay grounded when everyone around you is like panicking, and I don't want to go there because I don't believe that I should panic, but I kind of feel that energy,
right,
drawing me there when I don't want to go there.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting. That's usually my biggest question I get from a lot of clients. So my theory is because we need to work with the grid more often, okay? And you know what the grid is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's the information highway out there. We need to work with that more often. We know that the grid goes from planet to planet to every star is out there in our universe, and that's the grid. That helps ground us in this aspect. But we need to start turning the grid from our connection with each other. So it's like the idea of thinking about everybody in this panel right now has a crystal inside them. And as grids, that's how grids connect to each other, because the crystals that's inside of each one of those planets. So now if we start connecting, hang on. Hi, Cyndee.
Can I get that number again, please?
Okay. I can't believe you have to have that number. Did anybody else have to have the number to get in? You guys did? Oh, I'm going to have to take that out. Meeting number 254 481 2962. Got it, huh? Yep, there you are.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay,
bye. So practicing with the grounding aspect of the grid, using the grid, is really good, because that's our most protective thing that we can do is practicing that grid and that, but also practicing the grounding grid, which is seeing, if I look at you and I see that beautiful crystal inside you and I start connecting through that, we're not taking anything from each other. We're just grounding. We're creating a ground in that, because we're grounding with the crystal in the center of the earth when we ground with crystals with each other. Now, what happens is that the people that are in fear and going through fear and everything else, they're on dimension 4 at a low level dimension 4. The higher in 4, because there's 30 steps in dimension 4. So they're on the lower step in dimension 4. And that's fear. And we're in a higher step where we don't have this fear and everything else then. So when we start connecting in that, they're not going to have a connection with us, and we're going to feel that, and we're going to know that. That's why we don't feel grounded. So we start connecting to people that are grounded, and like the panel here, and people that we really know and everything else, because those are the ones that are going to help us ground. And because it's really interesting is if I try to get a connection with a client that's really in fear and they're scared about everything, now I'm just going to use my mom, for instance, okay? She calls me every day because she's 85 years old. She has lung cancer. She's supposed to die 6 years ago, and she didn't. She's still alive. But she's fearful. Every day she has a fear about this because she watches TV every day. And that's her fear. So when I try to connect with my mother, I don't have the same connection anymore. I've outgrown that connection with my mother, my own mother. And so it's really true. What's happening now is what no longer serves us is going to go away. So those connections we used to have with people aren't going to be as strong connections like they used to be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So to ground, if I want to ground that, I go out and I connect to my spiritual friends and that the people that I know and which is pretty much everybody in the panel here, that I could spread out and connect with you guys and feel grounded. But that's also my protection. That's how I get protected. I don't make myself a white light. I don't make myself seen and everything else in that. The meek will inherit the earth. And that is the most important thing to know, is that the meek is inheriting the earth because we're the ones in the back just sitting there sending love, grounding ourselves that things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. We have no control over it, so why fight it? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Did that help, Cyndee?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Okay. Cyndee, Mubi, did you have anything to add to that? Okay. I'm unmuting you. There you go. All right.
No, 'cause
Anybody else? I'm
missed
sorry. We
the question.
probably have enough time for one more question. Anybody have a
Wait.
question? What?
I just real fast, Linda,
Yes.
where was your issue at? Is it in the thymus area? No.
It's
No,
estrogen.
yeah. I had cancer 2016, and I'm taking an oral chemotherapy now since then, and that's what I'm resisting. I don't want to take it anymore. So I had breast cancer.
Sorry. Okay.
So
All right.
I don't know if you were gone but heard, but I told her to wear turquoise around her neck and everything else because it's part of the whole endocrine system and that. And 528 is the hertz for turquoise, and that's what I picked for her. Well, another thing is that your left shoulder, when it's probably hurts more than your right shoulder, right?
Yes.
Your left shoulder is going to be, and this is for everybody. Your left shoulder is your estrogen controller. Okay, you know when your left shoulder starts hurting and you lose range of motion in your left shoulder, means you're low in estrogen. And it's because estrogen is the WD-40 of all joints and that, but the left side of females is female side of receiving. So it is an indicator that tells you when you're low in estrogen, the left side will hurt worse. Like my left side hurts like heck right now. I'm a little low in estrogen, I think. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Just control it by that, and then if you want, honey, use a little bit of Pastrone, and that is kind of something that will help you also in that to bring that estrogen back in. But live your life, honey. You have a lot of life in you, and I'm just going to tell you that. Live your life the way you want to. That. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, hon. Kelly, you had something to ask? I saw that hand.
It wasn't really a question. It was just a thought.
Okay.
When they were talking
Thoughts.
about coming with the Fifth Horseman and the green horse and being Earth. So Mother Gaia and everything that we are going through right now, one of the benefits of all of this is the recuperation of the Earth right now, and that the frequency of Earth is higher. So if you are if you're struggling grounding or you're feeling really unbalanced, the best thing, well, it's worked for me anyway, is get out barefoot and stand on the grass. Go get out, go hug the tree, go do whatever, because the Earth is it's like a really high healing point right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's very good. Thank you, Kelly, for that. You're a pretty smart girl. Where'd that come from? I still need you to do my hair, okay?
Gee, I wonder who could do that for you.
I know somebody that's a really good hairstylist. I like her too. She's a nice person. All right, so I just want to add tomorrow. You know, we still have some openings in that. Linda, that'd be a really good question to have Dr. Emil to look at also, because he's a doctor of pharmaceutical and that went into the spiritual side of things. So he might be a really good person to ask that question tomorrow too also, if you wanted to come on tomorrow on that. I think tomorrow's going to be really amazing with some really good stuff. We have coming up, I have a group of friends that's going to get together, and we're going to have just this huge panel of spiritual people, and we're just going to have fun with it. We're just going to all get on and just have fun with it. So I'd love you guys to be part of that that crew that comes out, that's going to come on that. I don't have it all put together yet, but also Cyndee Cynthia Dunn and myself, we're doing a wonderful event. I think it's the 26th, right? Does everybody remember? 26th?
I think so.
We're going to be doing gallery readings, and that'd be fun. So get Cyndee doing some readings also on that, gallery readings. If you guys need to get a hold of Cynthia, or you want to guys, right now all she can do is can you do one-on-one sessions, Cyndee, or do you just can do Zoom sessions? Cyndee, Movie?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, we can do some one-on-ones and, what have you. And, I keep talking about doing a color class, so you really got a big taste of it tonight. And, now that we're all grounded for the most part, and we're going into our inner selves these days, and searching and healing and learning and a lot of things, patience and compassion and everything, probably is now a great time to do stuff like that.
Well, I think you still should do even with what's going on, I still think you should do a color class, even
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a Zoom color class, even. And then I know there's some hands-on stuff in that, but I still think it'd be fun to have you do a color class. So anybody have any more questions for Cyndee before you want to ask Cyndee anything? It's time now, or forever hold your peace. So if you want her.
Yes. Little one has one.
Oh, little one, I didn't see her hand up.
Because I'm so small, apparently. But okay, what quick question? What would help with patience? Like, is there any color that would help with patience, or would that be kind of calming, like with the blue, like you said earlier, and was it lavender?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something in the cool zone, definitely. Okay. Which purples and blues are on the cool side. Like, think of water, and waters are purples and blues, not the fire colors, the oranges and yellows. Definitely something. Okay. I mean, unless you want to, ignite and spark that compassion, then yeah, bring out some red, girl. Red.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do you want to give them your email address so they can get a hold of you if they want to, huh?
Yes, but if it's okay, if everybody has just a couple more minutes, I'd like to pull a color card for each one of you. Do you have another couple minutes?
I got time.
All right, now I'm just going to go, I'm just going to go on the road that I see, okay? And so first at the top is Linda. All right, so I have these beautiful color cards. There's I don't know, I think 42 or something in here. So I'm going to shuffle, Linda, and you just tell me when to stop, okay?
She said stop, honey.
Oh, right here? This one? Or this one?
That one.
The second one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I always say this, you have a beautiful card, but they're all beautiful. I just have a bad habit of that. So you have pink, Let Love In. Can you see it?
Yes.
Look at how pretty that is. It's very
beautiful.
Yeah, it's very springy. It's, spring is about, new beginnings. So that's what you're searching for. Yeah, you're pink.
Mhm. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Kelly, you're next. So if you can see.
There.
This one or this one? The first one or the second?
First one.
First one? Okay.
First one.
All right. All right, so you have the beautiful peach, and it says, inhale a breath of life.
Wow.
Very nice.
That fit, Kelly?
Well, I'm working on breathing exercises, so I'll take it for there.
Perfect.
Good
Well,
job, Peaches.
and just having patience for what's going on out there, and not only then, but always. But we always have to take that breath of, I could do this. All right, I think Cyndee, is that Cyndee, right?
Yeah, Cyndee. Uh-huh.
Okay, so can you see?
That's good. Right
This
there.
one?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Find richness from the dark night, black.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Right?
Black's a good color. I like black.
Well, it is a good color. You got to have balance. You have the light and the dark, right?
Yep.
The yin and the yang.
Yeah, that's for grounding also.
Yeah. All right, Rebecca, you're next.
Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
All right. Live an extraordinary life with cherries.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's that. When it comes to red, personally, this is the color red I like that Merlot kind of color. It's pretty. All right, Beth?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow, interesting. Learn to scan your body, gray.
Wow.
Okay. How do I scan my body?
Go ahead, Rod. Why don't you explain that one?
I had a feeling you're going to throw me under the bus with this one. So it's really interesting so as a medical intuitive person, that when they look at a person's body, they see grayness as something that needs to be fixed. It doesn't mean it's something wrong, just it's something that needs to be fixed. And I think that's in tune with gray for you, my dear, is to realize you're perfect just the way you are and quit beating yourself up. Gray says to me for you is know that you're okay and know that you're going to be okay. And that's what gray to me means. I mean, it's in between color white and black, it's the center. It's the balance of everything. Did I do well, Cyndee?
I'm trying like mad to lose weight, so maybe that's.
It's that finding that balance of that. And it's really interesting. Is somebody told me one day, and I think it was Virginia, told me that like sugar's the darkness and vegetables are the light, and that we're trying to find the center of that because she won't let us have any sugar in the house.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny.
But Kelly, don't be clapping your hands. So some bad girl bought me a whole bag of Mike and Ike's. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Beth.
welcome. All right, Miss Virginia, you're next. Can you see? Okay.
Oh, you know what? Cyndee, pick it for me, please.
Okay. Okay. Oh, all right. Regenerate your body. Sapphire. No sugar for you. No sugar for you.
Yeah, without sugar, right? Love it. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Wow, sapphire.
Yeah, that's actually something that I've been trying to motivate myself to do too, is regenerating my body, as in running the stairs at work and going for walks more.
But
Nice.
What we just had this conversation during dinner time, didn't we? About that.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Yep.
because you're measuring yourself for a new leather coat for your motorcycle.
Yeah. Yes, I was. Yeah, I was not happy with those measurements.
I did look. I don't know what her measurements are, so don't ask me, guys. All right? But yes, so that's what she talked about. It's like, got to do some changes. All right, who's next?
Sherry. I see her face, and then we'll do the baby girl.
Okay.
All right. Can you see all right?
Yeah, can you go ahead and pick for me? I can't see them very well.
Okay, you got it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, interesting. Find riches from the dark night.
Oh,
another dog.
wow. Out of all those cards, we got 2 black ones?
We're coming into a dark moon too. A lot of people are feeling the darkness around them, and we need to bring some light. Bring that orange on, guys.
So because of the dark moon and everything, this is about change, isn't it, for both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, for both Cyndee and Sherry. This is about change.
Yeah. Some new, changes, new beginnings. I mean, new moon is like spring, another fresh start.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
So where's little one at?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
There she is. All right. Can you see okay? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. Stop.
There's 2.
Yeah, the third one. That one.
This one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Talk about yin and yang. Lighten up with white. We just had black.
Yeah, I do need to lighten up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's perfect, sweetie, because you were saying you're feeling the high vibrations and the balance of the masculine and feminine. Well, your mom picked the black, and you got, or I did for her, and you got the white. So
that's so funny. Good job, Cyndee.
That explains our off and on behavior.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, you guys should look up more about the yin and yang, what it means, too, for you two.
Yes, you should.
Always gotta get Chinese stuff.
Yeah, Taoism and everything else. You guys will love that.
Maybe together we'll get balanced.
Yes.
There you go. Absolutely. Because you guys are pretty tight.
Yeah. Despite some things, we're good.
We make the circle.
That's good.
Go full circle.
Okay, so I picked myself one. Do you remember just a moment ago what color I said I kind of like in that one color?
Violet.
Zone?
Purple.
No, just a moment ago.
Pumpkin.
Anybody remember? What is it, Linda?
Orange.
What's Linda? Orange?
Say it again, Linda.
Orange? No, but that's good. All right, so somebody had the cherry. Remember I said that deep color, burgundy? Look what I just pulled.
That's what you like to drink. You didn't say that what color you like.
Well, yeah, no. It says, awaken your passion. Well, I did tonight when I was talking. So my passion was coming out about a lot of things about the feminine. And what's cool is one more thing, and then I will stop. I'll shut my blue off.
Are you forgetting something?
Oh, you. Yes, hang on just a second. I just want to read this one thing, and of course we'll get your card. So remember that beautiful, remember I said we had the masculine, the blue, and the feminine is that magenta, that beautiful fuchsia? Is it out right here? Where? Okay. Anyway, sorry, I was going to get it where you can see it in the light. But, okay. So magenta is the Bendu, which is that back here. Spirit of Divine Feminine, Mary Magdalene energies. There you got it, right there.
The mouth of God or Bendu, which is the back there. Yeah. So
Ready?
anybody got an idea what color Cyndee's going to pick for me or when I pick it? Oh, there you go. That color come flying in. There. Oh, I like that color. It's nice.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, waken your Bendu up, honey.
Huh.
Yeah.
She's awake.
Yep.
All right, you ready? Okay, they're gonna guess what color?
Anybody want to guess?
Green.
I'm gonna unmute you guys so everybody can say it. What color do you think I'm gonna get?
Orange.
Green.
Orange. Green.
Orange.
Yellow.
Yellow. Orange.
White.
I'm gonna go with red.
It's gonna be blue.
Pink.
Stop.
Pink.
Stop.
Here.
Yep. It's gonna be blue. Yep.
Overcome your challenges, Rod, with the beautiful plum.
Oh.
Was that suck a thumb in the pie and pulled out a plum?
Yes. I gotta pick my mom. I gotta get one for my mom real
Oh
quick.
yes. Where is Cookie at?
She's right here.
Step in and say hi, Cookie.
Come in and say hi. No, I'm not coming in. All right.
Oh, she's not dressed? Okay.
Stop. Tell me when to stop.
I want number 4.
You want number 4? What? You're getting apricot. Rejoice and laugh.
Mm.
Okay.
That's what we all need right now. Remember I said orange? Rejoice and laugh. We need to bring up that energy out there. A lot of people are suffering. Thank
you, Cyndee, very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's an honor to have you guys here. We're going to do this next Friday, too. I have a guest. We haven't put everything together yet, but I'm going to have another guest on. I'd love to, Cyndee, we're going to probably see some more Cyndee stuff because she's now learning this technology. So we're going to get to see some more of her and her stuff and that. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow because I think it's going to be a fabulous class. It's going to be wonderful. There's going to be a lot of stuff Dr. Meal and I are going to bring out about structure and how we are handling the dealing stuff with today and that. And so it's going to be great. Virginia has something to...
Yeah, I just have something I want to say to Andrea, please. For a minute.
Little one?
Yeah, yes. And Andrea, when you were asking Cyndee about the balance of your energies and you feel like you're balanced, but that you feel like they're really heightened, I heard you asking if you're too much. You are never too much, girl. If you think you're balanced, and you are loving how you're feeling and what's going on, you are never too much. You let your light sparkle and you just go for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Way to listen to things I didn't say.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You guys have a great time. If you guys want to re-hear this, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, which is Rod Talks on YouTube. You guys can re-download this and play this back. And if there's anything you missed or whatever else, that it's going to be there for you. That hope to see you guys tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And that make sure you sign up because it shuts off at a certain time. So make sure you guys sign up early to get on for tomorrow. You guys, you're loved and I'm blessed. Have a great, great night, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Yes.
Bye.